was something. I was like, what's that? It was.
All right, everybody. Welcome to Runs0b3r podcast.
Yes, sir.
This is episode number
14?
13.
13. Crap.
Lucky number 13. And today our guests are Beca Pumphrey.
We had to wake that crowd up for you. Like, yeah. Come on, boy. Do you know who she is?
And Michelle Brooks.
OG.
And I'm Brandon Veltman. And next to me is...
Eric J. Henderson.
All right, Eric J. Henderson. So we are a local Dallas-Fort Worth production. We do not only discuss running and sobriety, but all walks of life. For every one of us has a unique story. The journey begins and ends with you. Today, Michelle, I'm going to start with you.
Okay.
And what I want is a little bit of back history. I want you to talk about your work a little bit.
Okay.
Okay, being a firefighter.
Okay.
And how it is around a bunch of
Nuts, man.
nutty men. That's what you said. and then a little bit about you training other people
Okay.
and how you got into running.
Okay.
But start with where you grew up. And so a little bit of back history. Doesn't have to be long, but a little bit of back history.
Okay.
Cool. All right.
I grew up in, I would say, Louisiana, Bossier City.
Yeah, I go.
And I was there for quite a long time. And then moved to California, Northern California, for about a year. My father was ex-military, but by the time I was born, he retired, but he still loved moving. And so he had several businesses, from hotels to gas stations to restaurants. Restaurants was his first love. And he employed us kids to work for him. And so then we found ourselves settling in Fort Worth, Texas, where I finished up middle school and high school. And from there, I moved on to like the HEB area and all that. And then running-wise, I started when I was 12 years old.
Oh, nice.
When I was in California, and ran cross-country.
Okay.
And I just kept going.
Oh, nice.
And never stopped. In high school, as a freshman, I was the only freshman that was varsity. And back then, I could run a 2-miler in 11 flat.
Yeah. Were you already feeling it then, or was it just, well, I'm just running? Were you already knowing, like, yo, I kind of do this?
Yeah, I loved any kind of activity because I was in martial arts. I always did something. Soccer, and back in the day, they didn't have female groups, so I did soccer with the boys, and I was the only female. I did football, and I was the only girl, stuff like that. And then when I found running, especially cross country, I just loved it because I liked being on dirt, and it was fun. And we made it to regionals. It was a good time. I missed placing in regionals by 1. They took the top 10, and so I didn't get to letter. I got 11th.
Yeah.
I got pink eye on the way down, and I had it in both eyes, and I couldn't see. I looked like a freaking monster when I was competing. Everybody was like, "Ooh, what's wrong with her?" But so that was fun, and I just never stopped running. And when I even met with Trailhead Running Supply,
Shout out to Trailhead.
they didn't.
Amazing people.
They didn't know that I was a trail runner. They thought I was new. And then when they realized, oh, you've trail run before, I go, oh, yeah, I've done grasslands like 20 years ago. And they were like, what? when it was before it was Blaze Trails. It was Susie Cope who had it.
Wow.
Yeah. So been doing it for a long, long time.
And you know, the woods, the woods better than average people. I mean,
Yes.
I was like, oh, one day, hey, that's a mountain lion you have a picture of? Yeah. I said, but he's like 3 feet away.
Yeah, that was crazy. Yeah, and that was in Grapevine. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, so that's me in a nutshell from running.
You in a nutshell.
Yeah. But for my work,
Uh-huh.
I didn't start doing firefighting until later years, and I was doing IT.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
And always personal trained.
Yeah.
So I was doing personal training and IT work. I did personal training for like 30 years. And also, I was the only certified Muay Thai boxing instructor back then, a female,
Nice.
back in 1991, because the guy that brought it to the Dallas-Fort Worth area was Master Chai and Master Yang. So they're the ones that brought it here. And he was from the mountains. He's Hmong, and it was traditional Muay Thai. No one knew what it was. And I love martial arts, always been in it, and I like the more contact.
Yeah.
And so I loved it. He was very hard on me. And he certified me, and I train guys to fight in the ring, and it's a lot of fun.
Wow.
And so then the firefighting just came to me. I was teaching a boot camp class, and one of the participants' husband was an AVP out at DFW, and he kept encouraging me to come out and apply. And I was like, okay, it took me a couple of years because I had to think it through. Do I want to do this? I'm older at the time, so I went out, and the rest is history. It was the best decision I ever made in my life.
Nice.
Yep, and I just actually promoted to captain.
Oh,
Just
wow.
recently.
All right, congratulations.
So,
Captain.
yeah.
That is living.
That's awesome.
I can't go to too many rooms full of IT people. Say, hey, what's your next move? Firefighter.
Firefighter.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a weird transition.
So how is it? Do you? So give me a rundown, kind of your work schedule. Do you have to be like 48 on or nothing like that?
Not now.
Okay.
So
Is that how it
used
started?
to,
Yeah.
used to actually they just went to a 48-96 shift. When I went on, it was 24-48.
Okay.
So you're on for 24 hours, you're off for 2 days, and I'm a medic, so you're running all the time.
Yeah.
And you're tired. I got promoted to, at the time, our fire chief that we had a pay band called specialist, which is equivalent to a driver operator. So I promoted to that, and I got into this position because actually I was hurt, shocker, running.
Yeah.
And I was on modified duty, and they
Right.
needed help in the recruiting office.
Uh-huh.
And so I was like, yeah, I'll do that. That'll be fun. Then I found that I had a passion for it, and I loved it.
Yeah.
And now I did miss the cool calls that we had and being with the guys, but I was like, oh, this is kind of neat. I get to meet people who are passionate about becoming a firefighter. So it's
Yeah.
kind of neat.
Yeah.
And that's how I evolved into my position now. And so now I'm on 4 10-hour shifts. I don't have to stay overnight, any of that.
Right.
So, I mean, we still have to do our compliance fires and stuff like that, but I don't have to go run on calls.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah. So I'm over recruiting and background investigations.
Oh, nice.
So
And y'all cover DFW, the grounds of the airport, or no?
it's actually a lot bigger than that. So we have
Okay.
6 stations.
Do
We have
you hit my Amazon?
yes.
Okay, that's one
Yes,
of yours.
that's
Okay,
one of
so-
ours. We have 6 Amazons
Oh,
on
wow.
property,
Yeah. Okay.
and we have 3 hotels.
Uh-huh.
We have everybody think it's just the terminal area. No, so all those highways that are coming in,
Yeah.
all the businesses, Samsung, we have Coca-Cola, Mars, M&Ms.
Yeah.
All of those businesses are ours. So if something goes down, we're going to that. So we're larger than the city of Manhattan. 6 stations, about 200 firefighters. So people don't realize how big we actually are. Yeah. And
So-
we think we do about, I think, 6,000 to 7,000 calls a year. So, and it's just going to get more because Terminal F is coming in. And so we're going to be hiring more firefighters soon.
Good to know. Is that particularly a more active area than like you're in Dallas and residential. It just seems like, I don't know why. It just might be with all those businesses around and just the randomness of who comes
It
in and out of
is
the airport area.
because population-wise, I mean, if you think about it, fully, like if everybody's flying in like for the holidays, summer and all that, I mean, we top out 1 million people. I mean, so you get anything and everything because it's an international airport. So people coming in from London, from Japan, all of that. I mean, they're flying. They might be sick. We have a lot of CPRs. So, but we have such a good medical director, and we have such good firefighters and medics that we're on top of things. They are so good. We get a lot of life-saving awards and stuff. Yeah, everybody is just solid. A lot of training, a lot of education. So our guys know what they're doing.
That's amazing.
So where is that? Where are you stationed though there? Because I've been over and I've taken. Okay, I know that there's a station right by Grapevine Mills, right across from there.
There's one actually. It's going to be across from you because you're off of Bethel.
Yeah.
Okay, so 635 in Royal. There's Regent.
Yeah.
There's Station 6 is right there.
Okay.
So you're thinking of Grapevine.
Grapevine.
Has the one at Grapevine Mills.
Grapevine. Okay.
Yeah, they're just over the city of Grapevine. So that's Station 6. So we have that's our far north station. Then we have a far south station, which is Station 5, and that's going to be off of 183 and International. Then we have 4 stations that are located on the AOA Airfield Operations Area.
Yeah.
So that's going to be 2, 3, and 4, and those are strategically placed because we have to make our response times on the terminal areas. But we are combining 2 and 4 into one station. They're called a super station on the west side, and we're combining Station 1 and 3 on the east side. So it's going to be a lot of firefighters in each station.
Yeah.
And I'm actually over that station committee for the gym. So I'm laying out the gym, helping out,
Oh, nice.
getting fitness equipment and all that stuff for the guys. But so they're going to combine those stations, and we still have to meet the response times and stuff.
Yeah.
So also I used to drive shuttles from Marriott property, and that's right off of I want to say it's Bass Pro Drive, I think.
Yes.
So that was a Courtyard Marriott right in
Yes.
that area. Yeah. So when I used to drive shuttles there, and I'd take people that would come into town to that fire academy or school, and you always
the training center.
Yeah, you always think that there's a plane on fire.
Yes.
Because there's smoke coming from there,
Yes.
but that's actually training center,
Yes.
But people kind of freak out, I know, around there when they see that.
Yeah,
They're always like, "Oh my God, there's a fire, at the airport."
Oh yeah.
But yeah. So
People flying in, they see that, and people call in all the time. Yeah, that's a mock-up A380.
yeah,
It's big. Yeah.
It self ignites.
No, they trigger it. They
Oh, yeah,
the training center firefighters there that work over there.
Right.
They'll run those props. There's several props in there.
inside there. Yeah, that's cool.
It's like out at Texas A&M where we train.
Teaks.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's always a fire going there.
Yep.
I'm out there 3 days a week working out at the George Bush School area. And Relish is where you go. Man, we could have a whole fire segment. I'm going to cut it down, but I have a question about the area that you serve. It's almost like you create, a city is created each day. You can have 1 million people, and then you'll have maybe a few thousands, and then it goes in and out. Is there a rhythm to maybe an obvious question, but it may be counterintuitive too. Is there a rhythm to the work according to that almost sort of predictable flow of max traffic, or is it just...
It's unpredictable,
that's
actually.
amazing.
It's unpredictable because we don't have residences like the cities do.
Yeah.
We have customers. So you have to think of it like that.
That's huge, man.
Yeah. So
So y'all do no residential?
no, nobody lives on the
Who
airport.
lives there?
Oh, yeah,
Nobody lives
yes.
on the airport. We have hotels,
Yep.
but nobody lives at DFW. So, I mean, it's ever changing. I mean, we have like gas stations. We've run several crazy calls at those as well.
I bet.
There's no
Crazy
residential off of
travelers.
like Glade Road right there?
There is, but that's not ours.
That's not y'all. Okay.
That's Grapevines.
Okay.
Yeah, Grapevine or Euless, so that they'll, I mean, we will assist if they need our help, mutual aid, just like Grapevine helps us quite a bit. If we are very, very busy.
Yeah.
We call on the surrounding cities to help.
Dude, I bet the wildness of people on planes doesn't stop on the plane. When you mentioned
No.
gas station, I bet you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For
there's
sure.
been some stuff
Yeah,
right there.
there's all kinds of stuff that goes on at the airport.
Because
Yeah.
people just come out of there on there, sitting there nice in front of
Mm-hmm.
mics and everything, and get them on a plane and miss a coffee or something. Like, yo, who are you?
Mhm. And we have a great police force too. So we have
it's
a whole
cool.
SWAT team. We have an EOD.
Oh, that's on,
Yeah.
on airport grounds too.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, they're
Dude,
very,
that's a world class.
they're good, and everybody's well trained.
Yeah.
So our police and fire, and we also have the security services as well. They're really good too. I mean, they're growing. They're a big department as well.
Last thing I'll say about the fitness part of that, which is cool because in New York City, every fireman I met, and then chiefs on down, and I know my guys listening back there. I just like, no disrespect to any other force, but the random fitness. You just have to be that,
Yes.
and not just that, but the professionalism.
Yes.
Those two coming together,
Mm-hmm.
it's got to create a discipline. Like even if you are, we're still going to be people. You'll meet somebody who's a straight nutcase, but once he's in his situation, locked in,
Yeah.
a pro who's able to do things. And that's
Yeah, we're
wish we had that
industrial
across.
athletes, basically.
Yeah.
That's what they call us. And
wow.
I mean, we even
industrial
have a
athletes.
fitness initiative that one of our chiefs, he collaborated with this company called Frontline, and all of our firefighters, even the new ones that are coming in, they have to have a VO2 max of 32.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, what do people start at?
I mean,
VO2 max.
everybody is different,
Yeah.
but
Seems like 32 would be like baseline almost.
for some,
Is it?
but
Okay.
it's the standard for
Yeah.
it's called NFPA,
Mhm.
and so that's the Texas Commission, for fire protection, and that's just their standard. And so you have to have that, and so you have to be in shape because you always have to be ready, not get ready.
Yeah.
Does that make
Oh,
sense?
yeah, for sure. Mhm.
And so that's another dynamic that, in order to get hired,
Mhm.
you need to have that VO2 max, and then you need to maintain it through your career.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, they do all kinds of testing for all of us. They do cancer testing, cancer screening, and it's pretty cool.
Oh, nice.
And I'm part of that wellness committee
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
And I'm a, what do you call it? A NF, it's called a peer fitness trainer. So it's through the IAFF, the International Association
nice.
for Firefighter.
Mhm.
And so if a firefighter does fall out of compliance, like his VO2 max or his body fat or whatever it is, I am tasked to bring him back into compliance.
Yeah.
So, and healthy.
That's the coolest thing. Also, it creates a presence. I was down at I worked at one time for the Players Union for the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
All-Star Weekend. I smoke cigars, and so go to the cigar spot right off French Quarter, and we're just sitting there, a bunch of guys, whatever, different men and women all over. These three guys walk in. They were state troopers, no weapons on them. Each one was about 6'1", 185 to 200, and just the presence of the uniform and being fit, and not even. And I saw random people who are, you're not in trouble, B. What are you doing? These guys walk in and everybody was like, yo, I shall smoke this way. There's something to be said. I wish we had it across all of the professional services, all of them, where you have that standard because
Command
it
presence.
takes drama. It nips a lot of it in the bud without the use of all, walking in, screaming, shouting, whatever.
So I got one more question before we move on from the firefighting. There was 2 cyclists, and they got hit by a truck.
Oh, yeah.
Is that was on y'all's area or in your area?
Actually,
Because I ride that
When
same
was that?
that same path I ride.
okay.
So I ride the airport whenever I do.
Okay.
It. So I'll do like a 25-mile loop,
Mm-hmm.
but I'll start at what's that furniture store right over there? I think it's
Stacy's.
Stacy. So I'll park at Stacy's, and then we'll go 25 miles, but we'll go the airport loop, but then we carry on across the bridge, and we'll go. I think we're in. I'm not sure what is it. Irving, maybe Irving. No, over there.
Yes, if you're going all the way, you like Walnut Hill.
So we'll go all the way around, and then we'll there's a Shell station when you cross over.
Mm-hmm.
So you're crossing over the highway. We're going over the top of it.
Yeah, you're over there for Freeport.
Yeah, near Freeport. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, then you're going into Irving.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyways, back to that story about the two guys cyclists that got hit. I saw it on the news, I guess, or maybe I saw it live somehow. I don't know how, but he hits one cyclist, and then he tries to swerve and ends up hitting the other cyclist, which was pretty wicked.
Yeah,
So,
I saw that. I don't know if our guys ran on that. I'm
Okay,
not sure if where the border was. I mean, honestly, there's a lot of people that get hit
oh, really?
on airport.
Oh,
Yeah, just because people are not paying attention, they're distracted.
Right,
So
yeah.
a lot of our guys, they run several of those
Okay.
cyclist
okay.
calls.
Yeah.
And then I thought you were talking about the one on last Memorial Day when me and Tom
Uh-huh.
were biking
Uh-huh.
at Grapevine,
Oh, yeah.
and it was flooded, and we were kind of checking out the flooded areas, and we were about to take off, and we look up and we hear this noise, and we see two guys flying through the air.
Oh,
A
what?
truck hit them
Maybe that's it.
in front of us.
Because it was like the guy was drunk. probably
No,
from the night
nobody.
before.
No, this guy was
Oh,
not
he
drunk.
wasn't.
Mm-mm. He just wasn't
I
paying attention.
want to say he was intoxicated from the night before, the guy that hit these cyclists.
Oh, yeah. No,
'Cause-
this guy
yeah.
just backed up, and he just didn't see them. And so I ran over there to help them, and I had people, bystanders, call 911, and I was stabilizing both of them until help arrived.
So I wonder, no matter who might be at fault, if you could say one thing to a cyclist, because drivers, you're not going to control them as much, but anybody who goes to buy a bike, puts it on the roads, what's the one thing you could tell them, just in the context of what we're saying right now?
Visibility. Have something showing. I mean, people are distracted, so you're not, they're going to be doing this, looking at their phone.
Yeah.
But anything that you can do to draw attention to, like even a
Yeah,
blinking red light.
We got tail lights
Yeah,
basically on
yep,
our bikes. So.
that helps.
Or on your body, like a big...
Well, even
Oh,
the tail light
the tail light that blinks.
blinks, it gets your attention.
And even Garmin makes Garmin now makes I want to say they'll record. It records, and it goes on your bike, and I want to say it'll record like cars coming up on you, and it'll even give you like almost like the way the new cars are. Probably your Lexus out there. Lexus, right?
Yeah. It gives you an alert, actually, that Garmin does. It tells you that there's a car coming behind you.
Right. Yep. So that's pretty.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Pretty badass what they're doing these days. Okay. So yeah, enough about firefighting. What about Muay Thai? I love Muay Thai. Muay Thai is awesome.
Yeah.
So I went and saw a Muay Thai fight in Thailand, and I actually, when I got into boxing, I ended up getting into kickboxing and Muay Thai after that, and then I quit, of course, because I broke my nose on my first smoker, and I was just like, the same for me.
Yeah.
It's different hitting a bag than getting hit.
Oh, yeah.
When the bag never hits you back. So.
I know. And then you get hit for the first time. You're like, what just
wakes you
happened?
up.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about Muay Thai. You said that they brought that over to Texas. Is that correct? These two,
they brought it to the DFW area.
And what year was this?
This was 1988 is when they brought it over. Mm-hmm.
Becca, were you born? No. You weren't born yet?
Yeah.
1988.
I was there for a question. Becca, were you born?
1988.
Yeah. So they brought it to this area. And like I said, he was very traditional, very, very strict.
Yeah.
And
are they both alive still? Or?
I don't know about Master Chai. Master Yang is.
Okay.
The last contact I had with him, he was living in Minneapolis.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he moved.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was super strict.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been in martial arts before, but he was always really on me. So at first I was like, this guy does not like me.
Yeah.
But he was hard on me for a reason.
What it is.
Right.
And he saw something in me, I guess, because there wasn't there was no females in it
Right,
at the time, because it's full contact,
Right. Oh,
and
yeah.
girls don't want to get hit.
What
So.
you tell people? Muay Thai is the art of, was it 6 limbs or 8? Six limbs. Yeah. So they use elbows.
Elbows, knees.
Yeah.
That's what's different between that and kickboxing.
Right. Yep.
So.
Yep.
Yep. And he's, like I said, real traditional. He wore, the bands on his arms and everything that was blessed by monks. And but he told me that in his country they fought to the death because they were so poor, and they would fight for food. And so he taught us like that. I mean, he had a sandbag that we kicked. And a lot of people, it's real funny when you'd see them go kick it. They think it's soft, and I'm like, oh, don't kick that.
Shoot,
and then they kick it real hard. Oh yeah,
all the sand falls to the bottom.
Yes.
I have micro fractures on my shins because of me doing exactly what you said.
Yep.
Just walking up and kicking it.
Yep. I'm like, oh, don't kick that. It's not. It's not
What
soft.
occurs to people though?
Yeah, they think it's soft. And then railroad ties, we kick those. And then when we sparred,
this is some
we didn't.
Van Damme.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Jean-Claude Van Damme, where he was kicking the coconut tree or whatever in Bloodsport.
that was Master Yang. I mean, he was about my size, but his legs look like tree trunks.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he was solid.
And hard all the way through.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
awesome.
There's a guy listening to me right now, a gentleman, former Special Forces, who had begun training me in Hapkido. He's giving me a Hapkido whooping right now as he listens. And when you say hard on me, I have the inkling of a beginning of an understanding of that.
Mm-hmm.
Right when I started to black out, I was like, okay. Yeah.
Okay, so Becca, I want to turn to you now, and I want to hear a little bit about where you grew up. I know you're telling us in the kitchen, but I want the audience to know a little bit about you. And you have a brand, right? Is that correct?
Oh, yeah, cool.
I do.
And I want to know how y'all
Go.
met. Y'all met basically, you and Michelle, and tell us a little bit about you. Okay.
Right on. So born and raised Camden, New Jersey. Lived there till we moved a few towns over when I was about in 4th grade. So not too far from Camden, New Jersey, but just a few towns over. Lived there up until graduated high school. And I graduated high school in 2012, so y'all can do the math.
Dang.
2013, I decided I really wanted to get out of where I was raised, and just wasn't the environment for me. Wasn't the place where I seen myself. It was tough there. It was hard living there. We didn't have a lot of money. We didn't have a lot of
is
things.
that new part of New Jersey? Is that where the Sopranos and all that was, or no? Or is that Newark, New Jersey? What is that?
I mean, they're all over the place.
Yeah, I was about to say, where are they not? Dude,
Where are they not? Right. Yeah. So, around that time, 2013, I moved to Georgia with my uncle, command sergeant major in the military.
Oh, really?
Oh, nice.
Moved to Georgia. Was studying for the ASVAB. Wanted to get into the military. Was training with him. He was having me run outside, do all these crazy things. That's when I really got started into my fitness career, and then also just like with nutrition and everything too. Ended up leaving Georgia after a year. Thought I was ready for the ASVAB. Took the test, failed it. Didn't get into the military. Wasn't able to fulfill that journey that I wanted to be on, and it was really my only way out of living in New Jersey, like everybody else in my family. So, ended up going back home. Started working at the gym. Trained people there, and then on the other shifts that I had, I worked at Napa Auto Parts, so I started in logistics.
Oh, nice.
My dad got me a job in Napa, so honestly, without that job, I probably wouldn't be where I am right now. So anyways, had that job for a bit, and then somebody that I was working with was like, you'd be really good at this thing called AmeriCorps.
Oh, wow.
I was like, what is AmeriCorps? She's like, it's like the Peace Corps, but it's not. And I'm like, okay. I looked it up. They're wearing uniforms. They're on teams. And I'm like, man, there's nothing else I want.
Let's go.
This is the closest thing to the military I can get.
Yeah.
Went home that night, signed up for it. I had an interview. I got into it. I was in this program for 10 months. I was on a team of 10 people. We traveled around the U.S. just responding to natural disasters.
Oh, nice.
We got paid nothing, but they paid for our lodging. It was my way out. It was my way out of Jersey. It was my way out to just explore the world. We never really went on vacations when I was young, so I didn't get to see many states. So just getting out there, I was like, wow, pump my own gas.
No, I feel that.
We
I don't need a
do
lot
that
of
in
money.
Jersey.
You're taking me places.
Yeah, yeah.
You sleep and eat.
Yeah.
Like what?
Yeah, so I was just blessed beyond measures to get into AmeriCorps. Did that for a year. Ended up doing it again for a second year. I went in as a team leader. So there's 2 different positions in AmeriCorps. You can be a team leader or you can be a Corps member. So first year I was a Corps member. Second year I was a team leader. Amazing experience. From there, I was able to get me in the position that I have now. I'm on an incident response team, so I respond to natural disasters, hurricanes, mudslides, fires,
Tornadoes.
All over.
literally everything.
And so what, is it just here in Dallas or you're all over?
Yeah. So at first, when I started out at AmeriCorps in 2015, but then after that, got into the agency I'm in now in 2017, and I was all over the place. So I was working in California for a year. We went to American Samoa, which has a huge piece of my heart, man. They're amazing out there, just amazing people.
So hold on one second. Who are they actually? American Samoa?
American Samoa, it's a territory out by Hawaii. It's like a Hawaiian brother-sister territory. It's actually a part of America, and it's pretty crazy out there. I mean, they're making like $2 an hour.
It's rough.
And it's a part of America.
Rough and forgotten. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, very forgotten. So that shaped a lot of who I am, being out there for the amount of time that I was out there. And then I spent time in Hawaii, time in North Carolina.
Do you know how to surf?
I went surfing a few times. I wouldn't say I'm the best.
Yeah.
But I rode a surfboard.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So that the first job I had within our agency, I was able to travel all over. And then recently, up in 2020, I got a position now in Denton, Texas, where I now travel within the 5 states we're surrounded by. So when we respond, like I just got deployed yesterday. I'm actually traveling on Tuesday. So I'm just going to Oklahoma, nowhere far. Sometimes we get, stationed in states that need us. Like last year I was in Florida. The year before that I was in Florida. They may send us places if they really need a hand and extra help. But we're first boots on the ground. So being on an incident management team, like we're first boots on the ground. When people are leaving the state for a hurricane, we're running in. I don't do anything physical, but I don't do anything physical as in regards of like firefighting or rescuing people out, survivors and things like that. But a lot of it's behind the scene type of deal.
So almost in this line of the question I had about the fire, when I'm thinking like, what happens? Random stuff. And so what we don't see, because it's not always the news, forget the news, there's always stuff happening. And so I'm imagining there's always weather that affects people and other types of natural disasters that we don't even call weather. Maybe
Oh yeah.
Always.
Like, always. And that's how we plan our lives around like, okay, there's weather coming in. Oh, it's summer. It's hurricane season. Can't do much, right? There's weather coming in.
Didn't stop.
Right. Yeah. And it's like Michelle kind of hint towards it earlier. Like it's not, you don't just like, you can't prep afterwards, right? You always need to be ready. Bags always need to be packed, right? Because there's always going to be something.
Yeah.
So, that's what I do for my full time.
So, and what is the name of it again? The company? You said?
I work for FEMA.
FEMA? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Nice.
FEMA. So Federal Emergency Response Agency. Yeah. So that's what I do. It's just, a little different being on a response team. Yeah.
I'm glad those bags stay ready because I've only been in a couple situations where when they say seconds and minutes matter, they actually do.
Yeah, they do.
If you're delayed, just you're a little bit of time just getting out your door, then,
Yeah. So
Very nice.
that's amazing.
So how'd you get into running?
yeah. So when it comes to running, so I've always dabbled in running here and there. I always played sports, field hockey, basketball, softball, things like that. Actually, my senior year going into field hockey, or maybe even my junior year, I was like, I need to be a better runner. I need to be a better athlete, a better player. And I always drank, I smoked, I did all those things. And I was like, I need to stop. I need to just go run. So I would, every morning before school, I'd get up and I'd go run, and I'd be good, 1 or 2 miles here and there. And then I'd afterwards go party and go smoke, go drink, go do all those things. Never really trained, took it serious. And that was in high school. And then afterwards, I've always just lifted weights, always in bodybuilding. And my friends were like, man, you're never going to be a good bodybuilder. Like, go do something you're good at. Go do something you're good at. So, fast forward a couple years, I finally started running, and I started running 2 years ago, literally 2 years ago.
Nice.
So I'm a newbie here, and I'm ready to take off, man. Like I'm
there you
stoked.
go.
I'm so stoked. So I started running 2 years ago, and I did like 5 and 10Ks, and I was like, this is not like I want to be broken. I want to find a way to
Yeah,
be
there you go.
broken,
Yep,
and like
it's out there for you.
yeah. Yeah, like I want to be broken so bad. And it's like I honestly I was like, I want to go to boot camp, right? Like I want to be broken down so
Yeah.
like we can figure out how to build ourselves back up.
Yeah,
So like
yeah.
it's self-discovery. So after
Exactly.
a year of doing 5Ks and 10Ks, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna sign up for, something bigger, something better. Ended up signing up for like a 50K and got sick, couldn't do it.
Uh-huh.
So my partner threw me my own 50K. Michelle actually came out.
nice.
Yo.
Yeah,
So
that's awesome.
Yeah, so I ran my first 32 miler. Michelle came out and ran 20 with me, and it was so cool. It was just us, like it was
Yeah.
just us. And
But
it
I
was-
can hear it though. I
Yeah,
want to be
man.
broken. Michelle's
Yeah.
like, I can help you with
Yeah.
that.
Yes,
I
you
mean,
can. Yeah.
and then
With a big smile on her face when
Yeah.
she's hurt you.
yeah, it was incredible.
It's
I
for your
mean,
good. But I'm gonna break you.
Yeah, like so. I mean, after that, I didn't really know how to work on my nutrition and things like that. So I kind of hurt a little bit after, but not a ton. Following that, I did Grasslands Marathon, and I sub 4. I didn't even know that was a thing. I didn't know people ran sub 4s like that was a thing, right? So my coach actually, Jason.
So
from-
4 in the woods. I'll be damned.
Yeah,
So Jason's your coach from Trailhead?
yeah. So I just
nice.
hired him in.
Shout out to Jason.
Yeah, just hired him in March.
Okay, nice.
Love that dude, man.
Yeah, so he's like, "Do you realize what you just did?"
Yeah.
I didn't know it was a thing, right? So I'm glad I didn't because I probably would have pushed too hard and died at the end, right? Yeah, and then after that, I signed up for my first 12-hour race, and people were like, "You have no idea what you're getting into,"
Yeah.
and I was able to hit 64 miles.
Nice.
Texas heat. It was April 12th, best day of my life. I was like, man, I didn't want to stop running. I didn't feel pain. So it's just like I'm just getting started.
Yeah. You got anything coming up?
As of right now, the only thing I have is February 13th, Black Canyons.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, 2026. So
That'd be fun.
right now we're just going to work on speed. And, honestly, I want to go further. I mean, 64 wasn't enough. I want to hit man, I need to start running with you.
Yeah.
Need to go hit those hundreds and whatnot.
So next weekend I'm going to Achilles Hill. Are you familiar with that? Yeah, at Ben Bridgman's. I guess I don't know if it's his brother's place or his place, but yeah. So I'm going out there, and that's if you want to grind and just do miles at your own pace. That's a fun. I'm gonna try to get 100 miles out there too. So
That's incredible.
I just want to give people context for the sub 4. I just pulled up the last March 15th, 2025. I ran the 50 miler at
Yeah.
Grasslands.
Okay.
You say sub 4. There were 5 people who finished sub 4.
Yeah.
Among a bunch of DNFs, 100 people. And of course, we do have Beca right here at number 4. That's nuts. And then check this number, 89.74% of like yourself. And so I'm not into I'm not on Strava, blah. I just want to run, but I just want to also know where I am.
Right.
And when you say to break you, I've been in ways where I thought I was working hard in the sport, but it's when I got in this one, in the trail running, like when you're in 30 miles in and you have 20 miles to go and you can't imagine another step.
yeah.
Like you feel 100% like, nope.
See, and I love that you
And
bring
you just
that up.
move.
I love that you bring that up because I haven't felt that yet.
Oh,
I haven't hit
Oh,
that
it's
yet.
coming.
And then another, I came in, it's not a spoiler. Another body shows up and you don't know where it came from, but it's a crazy space to go through, right? I mean, it's like self-discovery is that. I was like, dang, I never had a sport that was transferable to life. I thought I was working hard, basketball, blah, blah, running marathons. I ran 2:53 after I bought this book on how to run marathons. They're telling you 6 months training to run 26 miles. And I discovered, nah.
Yeah. No.
50 miles comes after 4 weeks, and then you do all right. And so there's a lot, and it's not irresponsible, just like, I'm going to go kill it. No, you can just do it. So tell me, I saw something
Yeah.
register when you said the break you part. I'd love to hear both y'all on that one. Like,
Yeah, I mean, I still haven't
You
hit
haven't
it
been
yet. I thought that my 32 miler hit it, and then after that, I went from a 5 and a 10K to a 32, and then the marathon. So like people were like, "You skipped. You're supposed to hit the marathon first." Now I wanted to do something, and then the 12 hours, I was just like, you know what? There's no mileage. I'm going. I'm
you're
just
gonna
doing what
crush
I
this
can.
thing.
And I haven't felt broken yet, and it's to a point of the self-discovery of I want to be broken, a point where I need to know how I'm going to survive with just me. How am I going to pick myself up?
Yeah.
How am I going to work hard? And how am I going to finish what I said I was going to do?
Yeah.
Right. And that's the piece that I'm looking for.
And then if you take our guy, Bam, who just won, didn't he, at Possum Kingdom, set a course record.
Yeah.
You always respect that moment. I've seen him just it was, Bandera, I think, a couple years ago. And they have a camera, and he's like, man, what am I doing? Who am I? Where am I? And it's real. It ain't no, like, and I respect it now, too, because we have to find places in life where we push ourselves like that. But it's finding that arena is not as simple as you think, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I thought I would hit it on my 12-hour. Shit, I was wrong. Got to go back out and do it again.
Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna love this.
She's amazing.
We'll be seeing you from a distance. And here's what I love about this sport too. Let me go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Megan, Martin, Shaheen, Rebecca, Mark, Amy. There are no. Take any of the top races from the elite to the regular. This is the one sport where I see men and women in top 10 every time.
Yep.
Men and women, and so there's something to be said for, beyond everybody's goofy politics, just the endurance and then the gifts that we do have individually as men and women. And I think if I saw more women in this, it looks like there's an endurance factor, which in my mind would have to accord with all the stuff that woman has to be built for, let alone just like the kids, whether you have them or not. You have to be built for that. Because that scares the daylights out of it. And then out of men. And going back to like people don't like getting hit, women don't like getting hit. Well, the truth is, I discover
Nobody likes
balling all around the world. And the dudes bark a lot, but when it comes time to like, guys don't like to get hit either. So I can't wait till respectfully, till you get to that thing where it's just you. You just got to figure a way.
Yeah, a breaking point.
Because you got a higher threshold than most folks.
So let me ask you a question. This is going to be. So we were just in the kitchen earlier. We were all talking about losing a parent. So Michelle lost her mom. Eric lost his father, and I lost my mother recently. So what would be what do you think is like the darkest part of existence?
Man.
The lights on in here? Oh,
Yeah. So that I've lived through, or that just in
your
general?
your experience, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Man, it's crazy.
So are you a recovering addict or no?
No,
no.
I'm
Okay.
not. No, I'm not.
But you've had battles with addiction, or
no? So
not really.
My
Okay.
partner's actually an alcoholic.
Okay.
Recovering alcoholic.
Yeah.
She'll be 6 years sober in July.
And for the folks listening, that's also a theme of the podcast here. And whether it's substances or not, there are even gross mental addictions that we've had to come through. That we talk about.
Oh yeah, for sure. And that was a huge piece of my life too. I mean, I was with her when she was an addict, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, we've been through it all. Ooh. So it's been rough, but she's my fiance. I love her to death, and wouldn't change it for the world.
Oh, very nice.
So, all right.
So was that probably?
So I would say between that and then also like people think of these, huge events that happen. Honestly, it's probably just my childhood.
Yeah, getting out, right?
Yeah,
getting out of that struggle you're in. That's huge.
Yeah,
I think
it's I think I'm living it. I think I'm living it now more as an adult when I look back and I'm like, man, that hurts.
Yeah,
I thought it was normal.
Yeah,
I thought it was normal to live without power, live without food, live with hooking up an extension cord through your neighbor's window just to have a refrigerator going. Like I thought that shit was normal. Right.
Yeah.
So it's like now it's like that's kind of, I've had a lot of things happen in life, and it's like I feel like my thing is when events happen, I'm like, it's all good.
Right.
God's got me.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah, that's good. When I was deep in my addiction, we used to do the same thing. We would go. Well, I'm a recovering meth addict, so that our household was everybody was on meth in the house, and we didn't have electricity, so we would use the neighbor's extension cord to the neighbor's outside plug, and then and we stole cable. We did everything, so everything negative.
yeah, for sure.
So, even our I want to even say what was it? Oh, okay. They took our the meter actually out of the backyard because we put a little pin in it to stop the meter from, because it's one of those rotating ones. So we drilled a tiny hole in it, the glass, and then we put a pin in there to stop the meter from running.
Hey, man.
But then whoever reads the meter, of course, is like, hey, these people didn't even use any electricity. So it was
Pressure makes creativity.
Yeah,
definitely. Man, you talk about we go out in the front yard and the water's off. Well, you just need a wrench.
Yeah.
Water back on. But and so there are
until
two
the city locks that eventually. We did that too.
Two sides people have to these lanes, and there's two different ways to survive. There's the romanticized way, which is, oh, I came from this and blind glorifying that. But no, we wanted to get to a different space.
Right.
And so I want to go back to one thing. When you go down to apply and you take the ASVAB and don't pass it, but that's not just not passing. It's coming from a dream to back home. Yeah. And that's where a lot of people can fall out 100%. What was your mind like when you got back home? Yeah. Like between that and then finding your niche in the training and then AmeriCorps?
Yeah, I've always struggled with thinking I'm not going to be good enough.
Oh, wow.
Right? Mm-hmm. Not going to be good enough. I'm not going to have what it takes to get where I want to be. When I grew up, I always struggled with education. I was always in smaller classes, always struggled to learn. You give me a piece of paper, you might be able to read it once and be able to comprehend it. You give it to me, I need to read it at least 10 times.
Yeah. It's similar with me too.
Yeah, so my thing is right there, it's like, oh, I'm not going to be smart enough. I'm not going to be good enough. I'm not going to be fast enough. I'm not going to be strong enough. How the hell am I going to get out of here? Right? I'll tell you what, I've been studying for the ASVAB right now because I'll tell you what, I'm going to go pass the test.
There you go.
I'm going to pass the test like this next month.
Yeah, nice.
I'll tell you that right now.
That's
but
crazy.
Yeah, those dreams don't leave you, man.
And how old are you?
31.
And look at what we call.
You can still get in the military, right?
Yeah, 36.
Hey,
36.
That's awesome.
Because I took that ASVAB too. Yeah, going in there.
Yeah. See, I didn't know that was a. I thought that would like set you in when you take the ASVAB. I thought it was like it guides you to what you want to do in the military.
Unless
is that true or no?
Unless you score too low.
Oh, okay.
They don't even accept you.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So you're gonna do that.
I'm gonna go take the ASVAB.
She's gonna blow it out the water.
That's great. Yeah. I do want to bring one thing in because I had that same in a different way. Like I'm not smart enough. I'm not good enough until. Oddly enough, because I know my gift is that linguistic and logical, not mathematical. There's a guy, Howard Gardner, who wrote a book called 7 Kinds of Smart. And the only smart that we really value in this particular culture, and even worldwide, is like tech guy or somebody who can write or someone who can speak. And so if I have linguistic intelligence, mathematical intelligence, logical intelligence, those are like people call smart. But the person with what you just gave, there's another one, intrapersonal intelligence. The person who knows I'm not reading on the level that they are, the person who knows I'm in this situation. You have so many people with all these other kinds of smarts who have no idea on how to estimate the personal, how that intrapersonal smart. And that intrapersonal also translates into the interpersonal. Because if I know me, because there's no way you could lead a team without those. And those are smarts that aren't valued as smart. Even right now with AI taking over, I teach a lot of stuff, AI. And people are like, oh, this does this. And that guy's really smart. I'm like, yeah, smart. Let's put him in the woods and see how smart he is.
Yeah, yeah.
He's got a kind of smart.
Yeah.
You know. So I just wanted to bring that up, just the that intrapersonal. It's that's been a struggle for me in a lifetime, because because what enters when you start looking into yourself, it shouldn't be the first thing that enters, but it's the self-doubt. Mm-hmm. But also it's the thing that propels you sometimes to different ways. I'm like, I don't care what I think. I'm not gonna make last. If this dude steps in front of me again, I gotta go all the way. Yeah. Because of the doubt.
And because of all those doubts, it's like we're stronger now.
Yeah, definitely. Let's talk about your brand.
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, it's called Beyond the Surface.
Oh, nice.
So Beyond the Surface, I'm wearing it on my hat right now if you want to check out the logo.
Oh, we got to do that.
So last year, I got deployed to Austin, Texas for some flooding. And I was driving in the car, and I was listening to a podcast. Turned the podcast down, and I was driving in silence. And I was like, man, why don't I have friends? Why do I struggle to have conversations with people?
Mm-hmm.
Why don't I get along with people? Like, why do I feel like everything is so surface level? I hate that. I hate surface level conversations. I'm not here for it. I don't want to go out to the bar. I don't want to go out and just have a meal to talk gossip. It's not for me.
Right.
So I get back, I check into the hotel, and I started like giving myself a hard time. Like, man, I want that like community. I want that family where we can just like talk about mental health, emotional health, everything.
Yeah.
I don't care how fast you can run, right? So it's like,
Exactly.
you know, I want to know like who you are today. Why are you that person, right? Like all these things. So anyways, start picturing all these logos, and I'm like, you know what? Let me pull out my phone. I start drawing up these logos in my notepad.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, all right. So I'm drawing them up, and then I'm like, sir, I hate surface level. And I'm like, you know what? Beyond the surface, that's it.
Yeah. Nice.
So I thought, you know what? This is it.
Shout out to Beyond the Surface.
Word up, yeah.
So
And that's Be Beyond the Surface on IG as I'm looking at it. And BeBeyondTheSurface.com too.
Yeah.
BE.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. So I started thinking of all these logos, started writing stuff down, took notes, and I wear hats every day. Right. So I was like, I have this logo now. I have this trademark. I didn't know I was going to have a brand, a company, anything like nothing, no idea. And I just ordered hats for myself, to be honest.
Yeah.
And I started telling my partner
hype,
about
that's
it
how it
and
works.
my friends about it. And it's like, you need to share that with people.
Yeah.
Like, what? You need to share that with people. So I had these hats. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to sell these hats, right? And right now it's in the building phase. You know, it's still creating that community. But the thing is with running is we go out there, we can physically destroy ourselves, right?
Yeah.
What are we talking about mentally? What are we talking about emotionally?
Mm-hmm.
You know, who we are today is the trauma that we've been through, the things that we've been through in our life. And unless you're alone with somebody on the trails, you're not able to get into those conversations.
Right.
So what I want to do with Beyond the Surface is really creating and cultivating that environment where people feel so connected emotionally, spiritually, physically, everything, where we can just talk about those things, right? Not feel like someone's judging us. We don't care, right? We don't care if you were an addict. We don't care if you grew up poor. We don't care if you have $1 million. I really don't care.
Right.
What I care about is, you know, are you able to just like open up and be honest with yourself, with the people around you? And then can you impact the people that's around you, right? Like, can you show up and make it a better place than how it was when you got there, right? And that's really what I care about. And it's, so yeah, right now I'm selling hats and just some product and things like that, but really it's just about building that community.
Yeah.
You know, I personal train and do nutrition and stuff like that on the side. So eventually I'll have coaching and everything under the umbrella of Beyond the Surface.
Oh, nice.
But as of right now, it's just creating that environment for people to feel safe, to feel welcomed and loved. And Michelle's one of the people who, you know, she reps it, you know, more than anybody. And
Shout out to Michelle.
yeah,
From
honestly.
day one.
So from day one, yeah.
That's awesome.
Like there's not a different conversation I have from Michelle than the day that I met her. And it's like, that's crazy. It's refreshing, like you say, because I don't have patience either for just chit chat.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a context, and not to be confused with not having fun and not having even a sense of humor, even though I sound like I have none of that right now. But the only folks who know me know that differently.
Yeah.
But what I like about all this is the running and the everything. It's a medium.
Yeah.
It's a medium for me. That's what it is. You know, for self-discovery and for being able to have these kind of conversations with folks. And the trail is different from the road. I remember running in New York, and you'll know how this is. I used to go to Central Park, perfect 6.1 miles around, and so I just started running fresh off an hour 25 half marathon from running nothing. So I said, let me go find out what this running is. And so I see guys in the park running. I said, hey man, can you tell me what this is? Hey buddy, I just don't have time right now. I'm doing my hill repeats. I'm like, my man, you're not in the Olympics. You're next to me in the park. We're both in this park right now. You're not that dude if you were. And so the uptightness that is, and now granted, I'm still running roads, but there's a stereotype of the road runner. And in every stereotype,
They're called the streets.
if I'm going to lay it flat,
Street.
stereotype is true. You get in trouble when you apply it to people. Because if you want to come to where I grew up, if you want to find the guy who's got a Camaro buried in the front yard, classic mullet, this goal, I can take you right to that guy. But what you won't know is he's conscious that you are thinking that he doesn't know who he is.
Mm-hmm.
And so the judgment stuff, it just goes all the way. And so I said, well, with the running, that the road runners did kind of have that in New York City. It took me a while to find community, and I actually didn't. I would just run. I'd put on Chuck Taylors to go beat the guys wearing like 4-inch split shorts just because they felt so bad.
Yeah.
And but when I bumped into the extended miles, 2 things happened. Like you said, the break you happened. I wasn't ready for that.
Yeah.
Not even I wasn't ready. I just didn't know. I didn't know I was going to be in the woods by myself going like, yo. But I have to finish because there's people who are out here saying, where's Eric?
Well,
like,
you got to get him out.
and ain't nowhere in the world you're going to lay in the freaking woods and just not. And so there's something that happens that makes you finish. And so people bring the Goggins examples up, and I wouldn't read that dude. He make me feel, I've read him, I'm just joking, but he made me feel like I'm just a failure for not jumping off the building and landing on 2 fingers. But I do like the things that come out of saying when you're at your very end, the first thing at your very end is that's your perception of your very end, especially if you haven't been there before.
Yeah.
So you got to find out what else is in there.
Yeah.
That's excellent. Hey, Michelle, I got something for you.
Mm-hmm.
What is the most treacherous race or adventure you have done?
The most treacherous.
It could be an adventure too. Like, it doesn't have to be a race.
There's two came to mind.
Yeah.
When I did Grasslands 50 miler in the rain, you were there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Eric was there too.
And you were there. And remember, everybody was dropping
DNF,
out.
yeah.
Everybody was dropping
Yeah.
out because it was shin deep mud.
Yeah.
And
Cake batter, man.
Oh man, it
You
was.
just slide all
Oh,
over
I
the place.
fell. I can't tell you how many
Horrible.
times. It was terrible. And I kept trying to run to the outside, not the middle where all the water
Yeah.
was.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, you know what?
The secret's in the middle.
Forget. Yeah, and I
Go
ran
right
in
through
the
it.
middle.
Yeah.
I just went through the middle. And the last loop, I grabbed trekking poles, thanks to Kathy Beck.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm going to get
Shout
these
out
guys.
to Kathy.
Sarcasm.
I was like, I'm going to grab these. And that saved my bacon.
Yeah.
Because
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
I kept upright
Right.
instead of face planting.
Yeah.
And I finished. There was a couple guys I was running with. I didn't know who they were. And they were like, I'm done. I'm like, come on. But they wouldn't do it. So
It's
me and
demoralizing though when you're falling like that. Not even if you're hurt. It's just
I
like,
know.
and you got 20 miles to go. Like,
I know.
I'm not gonna fall on
This
my
is
face for 20
terrible.
miles, man.
Yeah, and I smashed
Yeah.
my crackers that I had, some gluten-free crackers.
Yeah,
They were
yeah.
all like dust. And I was like, oh man. But I finished that. So that was challenging.
Definitely.
So
That's
that was
challenging for
tough.
everybody.
Yeah. So I finished that, and I think I placed pretty well that time.
Yeah.
I can't remember. But and then another one was a 24-hour adventure race.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't know what those are. It's not the, what is it called? The
Not
Tough
triathlons.
Mudders.
Or-
None of
yeah,
those.
yeah.
It's basically a triathlon in the woods.
And,
So
and don't they throw like an event,
That's
a
interesting.
mystery event?
Yeah.
I'm surprised they don't have that.
Yeah.
We should do one.
yeah, it's called USARA.
Yeah,
Really?
My brother
Yeah.
used to do
Let's
those.
check it
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, and they're tough.
It's so obvious, but I've never heard of it. but
Yeah,
Can't
I did a
imagine finishing it.
24-hour one.
Oh, gosh.
And you have to have a 4-person team.
Right.
Well, the 2 guys that were on our team, this was like, I don't know.
They made a movie
15 years
recently
ago?
about that, right? With Mark Wahlberg.
Maybe.
And
I don't know.
It was Mark Wahlberg and a dog, and the dog followed them the whole adventure racing.
I guess I haven't seen that
And
one.
he like saved the dog at the end. I don't want to spoil it, but
Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to look that up.
Don't tell me these guys dropped out
They did.
on your team.
They did.
My team, though.
Wow.
It was my team. We had 4 people, 2 girls, me and this other girl, and then 2 guys. They dropped last minute.
You got to be missing a leg.
And I was like, you got to be kidding me.
can't
Because
do
it's expensive.
Right.
So I talked to the race director. They weren't going to let us race because it's a liability because, it's 24 hours because you're kayaking, mountain biking, trail running, and a mystery event.
Yeah. And so how often did you do those?
I was doing quite a bit. That was my first 24. I was
Okay.
doing more of the sprints, the shorter distances.
And when you said mystery event, what would they be?
Oh, you never know until you get there. So
Yeah,
you
but-
can't train
but
for
like
it.
just
So
just like Throw out some so the audience knows kind of.
There was one where they had a cargo net over an old bridge that wasn't attached, and you had to climb up that, up and over. There was one that was a ramp that was greased with Crisco and a line, and you had to get up and over it.
Oh, wow.
And then like balance beam, that kind of stuff. The 24-hour one, we had to climb up 100 feet to a zip line and go down. And they were like shaking it, trying to make it go faster. And then you also had a trapeze off of a platform. Platform was probably about this big. And both of you were standing on it, and you had to jump to the trapeze to catch it.
Oh, wow.
And, yeah. And so that was, those were fun. And this is after you've been racing. So you've already clocked in, I don't know, probably close to 50 miles running and biking and then kayaking. I mean, you're exhausted.
So it's not a gimmick. It's real physical activity.
And you're providing your own aid station. There's no aid stations.
Got it. And you had 2 people drop out. So they let you go as just 2?
2. Yeah, they let us do it. And you had your transition box. You had to read a topographical map. You had to know where you were going, because if you didn't get in certain checkpoints, they would DNF you. So you had to find where you were going. We followed this one group of guys, thought they knew where they were going, and it was not right. And he actually got bit by a rattlesnake.
Wow.
And so I was like, we're not going to go that way.
Nope.
Yeah.
So we went around, and I mean, you're mixed up, because like at 2 a.m. we couldn't find our transition box. We had no food. I had what was in my pack, so I looked at her. I said, "What do you have in your pack?" And she goes, "I've got a bag of tuna, the little tuna that comes in a bag." And I said, "Okay." I said, "Well, I have bananas and Cliff Shots, those little blocks."
You're right.
And I said, "Okay, so tuna is dinner, and then the banana, and then the Cliff Blocks was our snack."
Just keep us alive.
Just so we can get through it until we could find our box. And then we did find our box, and apparently scorpions are like apparent at night, like they run around at night. I don't know. I didn't know this.
Yeah.
I lived in Arizona. I only saw them day. But
this was in Austin, and we were on the shoreline. We got our boat in. Our bikes were there. And I found out that there were scorpions because there was a guy laying on the ground, because people are tired from my racing. And I'm sitting on our transition box, and I have my feet up on my bike, and I see stuff moving on the ground. It's dark. I don't have my light on.
Right.
And I go, "What is that?" And then he jumps up screaming. He's like hitting himself. And
bit?
I'm like, they crawled up his
Oh.
shorts.
Oh,
And
no.
so I pulled my feet up and turned on my light, and I looked, and the ground that was moving was scorpions.
what color were they?
Wow.
They were little.
Oh, okay.
They were kind of like a sandy color. And I was like, "Oh,
Enough to do
So I was like,
damage.
Those are the ones that get in your shoes.
I was like, "No, thank you. Let's go. Let's go."
Yeah.
But yeah, so those 2 races it messed with your mind, because I mean, you're just exhausted. After I was done with that race, I was like, I don't want to be on the water for a while. I mean, because the water was super choppy, and you're just exhausted. I mean, you're just literally exhausted, and you're trying to find your way.
Yeah.
And back then, I'm not going to date myself, but
There was no Garmin watch.
I had a BlackBerry,
Yeah.
and there was no
yeah.
service out there.
wow.
Yeah, so it was terrible.
You didn't have a Maps Go? Like,
No, you're in the middle of the woods. So she was ex-military, and so we were just navigating through it all. I mean, we made it.
Yeah.
We finished, but it was tough. It was very, very tough.
I'm sure they're easier now because of the technology.
Oh yeah. And I don't know if they don't allow it now. I'm not sure. But I stopped doing it because I could never get a team that could stay together.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm not doing this. It's too expensive. But those were I would say my 2 challenging races.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Very nice. So I got a question for each of y'all. I always ask all my guests this. So what is your favorite movie? So either one of you can go first.
I struggle with that because I don't watch a lot of movies.
Yeah. That's the second person that's told us that.
I probably watched like 5 movies.
Like a certain genre or just
Oh, no,
overall?
your favorite.
Now, mine would come from when I was 12 or something like that.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
no doubt.
My favorite movie is The Lost Boys. So vampire
That's a
movie.
good movie.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
fantastic.
I just went to Frightmare this weekend. Yeah,
Oh, wow.
I went to Frightmare,
Lost
and
Boys.
last year the guys from Lost Boys were there.
Oh,
Jason Patrick was there,
wow.
and
Really?
Billy Worth.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I didn't get to meet him.
When did that come out? I don't know Lost Boys.
It came out-
1987,
Yeah.
something like that.
So
Great.
It's an old vampire flick. It's
Yeah,
good.
I love that.
Yep.
Yeah.
as
Classic.
a kid, I probably watched a lot of Matilda. Like,
Matilda.
literally Matilda.
Nice.
That was it. And then like as an adult, if I could watch anything, it'd probably be Rocky. Like
Oh,
Yeah.
nice. There you go.
Dude, that was my
I like
first
that.
marathon in Philly.
yeah.
And it never gets old. When you run
Yeah.
up those steps after
That's
you
it.
finish, my man.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah.
I don't have one that's like
What?
narrowed down. I mean, I like Pan's Labyrinth. Do you know
Oh,
what I'm talking about?
yeah.
I
Is
really
that
like.
in English or Spanish? No.
You can get it in English.
Okay.
It's good.
Okay. But it
Um,
was created in
What's the
Spanish.
name? What's the
right?
name of that
Is
again?
that correct?
Pan's
Was it Spanish that was created in?
Pan's Labyrinth,
Yeah.
and I would say, I mean, obviously, I like anime because my kids,
Yeah.
Totoro and Spirited Away,
Yeah. Yeah. Nice.
but comedy wise, I mean, Friday.
Oh,
That's
you like
just
Friday?
my
There
favorite
you go.
movie. I
Oh,
love
yeah.
Friday.
I got to check
Man.
Matilda. I don't know what that is. And Pan's Labyrinth.
Matilda was a TV show, right?
So no,
Yeah.
it was
no,
a
it's a
movie.
movie.
No, it's a
Oh, I know.
movie.
Yeah.
And
Okay. I know what that is. Yeah,
You know, when I look back and I think about it, like, why did I like Matilda so much, right?
Yeah.
She was magic. She can make anything happen with her eyes.
Ah.
And now thinking back as an adult,
Nice.
I'm like, maybe because I think like mentally I can fucking do anything I want, right?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm like, I don't know, maybe that's why.
That's
Dude,
awesome.
and my guy is Son Goku, because when I went to Spain to study and discovered in Barcelona they're not speaking Spanish more than they're speaking Catalan, and so I'm coming home from school each day watching Dragon Ball Z. So my introduction to anime was that, and so little Son Goku, I had all his movements, his language, everything. That was the cadeo fora daqui, encara que soc petit, tinc que eu não m'ha de tenir. Estic protegit per las estrellas. That little man says, goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Y'all get up out of here. He's talking to the monsters. Even though I'm a little man, I have everything that a man needs.
Oh, wow.
I'm protected by the stars.
I love that.
And every song from Dragon Ball Z is different. So I get back to the States and I turn on, I'm like, oh, cool, Dragon Ball. Yeah, that's not the song. But yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. My youngest daughter's an artist, so she does all the anime and stuff like that. And I was showing some guys at work. I'm like, yeah, she's got like a huge following. I think it's like 67,000 on.
What?
No,
What?
now it's
Oh.
like 100K.
This is your daughter-in-law?
My
Yeah.
no, my
No,
youngest daughter.
Your daughter. Oh, yeah.
She's got to live in Kinokuniya
She
for the
is.
pins and stuff.
She is like
Yeah.
she's got a
That's
huge
amazing.
following,
Wow.
and then even on YouTube too. So I was like, oh my
Wow.
gosh. So
That's
yeah,
awesome. And Michelle, you're a new grandma.
I am.
That's
I
awesome.
am.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Yeah.
His name is River.
Yeah.
He's
Nice.
so cute. So cute.
Fantastic. So say that brand again for the audience, and we're gonna close up the show after that. So go ahead.
Yeah. Beyond the Surface on Instagram, it's Be Beyond the Surface, and the website is bebeyondthesurface.com.
Okay. Yeah. So everybody check that out.
And if you got
Order
anything
some hats.
curious, Michelle, that the folks should know about, either, I don't know, organization, cause, whatever, anything come to mind? You don't need one, but
No, I mean, I'm always big into animal rescues, and Paws in the City. I've adopted several dogs from them, a couple of dogs, and then Classy Cats. I help every once in a while during the holidays for their
Nice.
cat rescue, and I adopted a cat from there. We won't talk about him right now because
Oh,
he's
yeah.
kind of he's a lot. But yeah, Classy Cats. They do a
Couldn't
lot of
do
good
it.
things.
Yeah. And do you recommend people to become firefighters?
Yes.
Always, right?
Yes, I need more women firefighters.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I can train you. I can train you to
Yeah.
do well in the PAT. But yeah, I need women to come out.
Very nice.
I love it. Analog life is how I live, even though I'm teaching AI and whatnot, because you can't outsource that life saving. You can't outsource that physical. You can't do it by typing.
Yeah.
all that stuff helps us. I mean, I'm not anti-tech,
No.
but yeah.
So I want to thank y'all for coming out. Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Yes,
Yeah,
thank you
yeah.
for having us.
Yeah, it was a good
Way
time.
cool, way cool.
Good conversation. Got to know y'all. That's awesome. So we're gonna close the show with that. All right. Thank you.
That was cool. Appreciate y'all.
Yeah.
It's rare to just be able to sit down and just go through some stuff, and that's just, it's just life, the beginning. That's why I smoke cigars. Like, you like, I like them, but generally, if you're sitting in front of a guy for 2 hours, you can lie to somebody for 10 minutes, but you ain't lying to me for 2 hours.